Good morning everyone. Welcome to Safari TV. This is the morning drive. My name is Jared. I'll be presenting and guiding the drive, and we have Catherine on camera this morning.
Hello everyone.
And Herman in final control. And we're going to head out this morning on a very chilly morning here. As you can see, got the gloves, got 2 jackets on, got a beanie on, keep the ears and the head warm. And we're going to head out. It's not the most flattering of look, I must admit, but it serves a purpose. So let's go out and have a look what is around. I see I got an update on Facebook and what have you this morning that the Styx Pride came back to Gowrie Dam last night to pick up the injured sister. So I'm not sure which direction they're headed in. We're going to have a look around for some tracks and see if there's anything out, and we'll see if we can find them. So let's go out and see what we can find. Alrighty. The sun's only going to be peering up in the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes at least. Gives us a chance to just sort of drive around for a bit. I'm not a great big fan of beanies, but like I said, it definitely serves a great purpose. Alrighty. It's not very flattering. But anyway, we'll carry on. Still buzzing after last night's drive that we had. Wow, it was awesome. Got to see some great animals. Got to have a guest with us. And hopefully in the future we'll be getting more guests on the vehicle with us. Hopefully get some leaders in the field of some part of wildlife. So I've got a few ideas to bring in an elephant expert, a dung beetle expert, and a wildebeest expert all in one. So maybe bring him in summer when the dung beetles are around. I want to bring in a professional guide as well. They're one of the most well-known guides in South Africa. Alright. Hi there, Nick. Nick's just saying that there's some lion roaring around Elephant Plains. Nick, we don't get that close to Elephant Plains, but we are going to be looking for the lions this morning. Morning, informant, Jared Mobile, just gone mobile. I'm going to be looking for the Styx Pride. Apparently they came back towards Gowrie Dam last night to pick up that mafaz. Copy that. That must be the Styx Pride. Yeah, they were seen sort of late last night at Gowrie Dam. So confirm you coming out of Voyatella that I can head down towards the dam and we can have a look there. Copy that. Yeah, I'll head towards the dam now and see if we can find some tracks. And yeah, it looks like they came and picked up that mafazi that's not doing so well. Alright, so we're going to head out. Andrew's going mobile from Voyatella, so it means we can head straight towards the dam and we can look for tracks. Any of you out there who managed to view the Styx Pride at Gowrie Dam last night, give us any idea of where they may have headed, will help us out. Apparently Million, one of the maintenance managers, came in this morning on Weaver's Nest He said he got all the tracks covered up, which is last night coming in. A little bit of mist this morning. Beautiful morning sky here. Thanks, Peggy. Peggy's very happy to see you with gloves and a beanie. Well, it's certainly keeping me warm this morning, Peggy, so absolutely. It's one of the coldest mornings we've had so far, or that myself and Kath have had so far on drive. First couple mornings back weren't so bad. Yeah, the lion tracks. Yeah, the lion tracks coming up towards the dam. Wow. Good morning, Pamela. Pamela's just asking, now that the Sticks Pride have reunited with that injured sickly female, does she have better chances of survival? Absolutely. Before, if a lion being a sociable animal, you know, they rely on working together to get prey and food and protection. And the fact that she was away from them for what would have been 2 or 3 days means that she certainly wasn't in any condition to be able to hunt. So yeah, just absolutely, they're going to be able to hunt. They're going to be, and although she's probably not going to be aiding in hunting too much, but certainly she's young enough that when she does come right, that she'll be another part of that hunting mechanism. So absolutely. Confirm the Ngala and Konzo are heading west on Boyatela access. Okay, copy that. I'm at Gari Dam. I'll slowly make my way there. Okay, copy that. Okay, so apparently the lion's headed back. Just hope they haven't gone too far. Yeah, it looks like they were here all over. And everyone is out early this morning. Fantastic. That's Gari Dam. Bit of steam rising off the water. Certainly the temperature of the water is going to be warmer than the air temperature outside. And Pamela is saying that in Arizona it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. It's amazing. 100 degrees, what's that? That's Probably in the sort of middle to high 30s. 37. Right, so we're going to head around on Mvubu Road and then cut across on the fire break, so we can try and make sure that if they've moved. And we're all hoping that if Mr. T, one of the last remaining Mapogos, are with him. Apparently he's joined up with the Styx Pride, which is very unusual. So we'll see if that is the case. Did anyone manage to see Mr. T with the Styx Pride last night? Those of you that got to see them around the dam, let us know. Remember, folks, to email in your questions. It's finalcontrol@safari.tv, and we can converse. Let's have a good time on drive this morning. Let's have some fun. I'm always up for a good time on drive. One thing about beanies, they itch. They itch. Catherine is snug as a bug in a rug at the moment. She's got her Fargo hat, earmuffs, a buff across the face, scarf. How many jackets you got on? 2 jackets, 2 hoodies underneath, and your shirt. So 5 layers. 5 layers. Earmuffs, a buff, a hat, and you've got gloves on, and you've got those wrist warmers on, and she's got wrist warmers on. Thanks, Elaine. Elaine's just coming back with, there were 7 members of the Styx Pride last night seen on the near side of the dam. Thanks, Elaine. Do we have any estimated time of arrival or departure from the Styx Pride? Maybe give us a bit of a window opportunity to see if they left if it was early last night, then they're probably quite far. Morning, Gar. Gar's just inquiring, with that female having a form of mange, one of the forms of mange, because there are a few different types of parasites that feed off it, is it possible that the others can get it as well? Yes, absolutely. Generally that parasite quite often will feed on animals that are not as healthy, so as long as they stay in relatively good condition, they should be okay. But it's not a parasite that is detrimental to their life. They're not going to die from it, but it is very possible that other members can get it as well. And is it able to be cured naturally? There are some beliefs and sayings and things like that believe that animals may roll in certain vegetation, very aromatic forms of vegetation that apparently help with the ridding of the parasite. I've found nothing that is 100% that says it is an absolute cure for it, but there are beliefs that there are certain plants and what have you that if they manage to roll in it and what have you, that it is possible. I know that hedgehogs that fleas that you cannot believe. Hedgehogs are known to carry massive amounts of fleas, and there are certain plant matters that hedgehogs will chew on that become very frothy and foamy, and then they'll sort of put this foam and froth all over their bodies, and apparently that is sort of a natural remedy to rid themselves of fleas. So there are beliefs of this. I've never seen animals doing this, so I can't confirm 100% with you, Doc. But it is definitely possible that some of the other members may be able to get it as well. Okay, perfect. Just want to get rid of this branch in the road here. So for those of you that are just coming back, Janet, Sally and Peggy all saying lions were at the dam at around 1:30 this morning. So they've had a good 5 hours or so. And they could have just gone along Till Axis and found a nice warm spot on the road somewhere, or somewhere to rest up for the day. They've obviously travelled a while, so we'll certainly find out. Hi there, Deb. Deb's just asking, why is it unusual that Mr. T is joining up with the Styx Pride where you can get the support? It's just, Deb, that for so long, the Mapogos have never really hung around with part of the Styx Pride, not that we've seen at least. So it's just from a viewing perspective to be able to see a Mapogo hanging around with the Styx Pride is just something we haven't heard about since we've been here. It is possible that now that his brother is gone, absolutely he'll be needing, once again, being a sociable cat, he's going to be needing that support. And with a male lion being on his own and a territorial cat, it's going to be very difficult to maintain a territory. So it should be in the near future that other 5 males that obviously took Kinky out will be asserting their dominance, fighting for territory, things like that. Okay, thank you. Let's also just update. We're on the fire break, approaching the labour. They're just saying 6 a.m. as well. There was quite a bit of activity around. Thanks, Elaine. Ephraim is on it. We are coming. We are just searching along the north. Looks like there were hippo here last night. Alright, so we are on the fire break, parallel with Buffelshoek Cutline, just to our right. And we're just giving Ephraim a hand with those lion tracks. Ephraim is on Voyatela access. I'll just keep in contact with Ephraim. And we'll see if they are still on Western Gari. Ephraim confirm those, apparently there were 7 in Gonyam last night. Confirm all 7 have crossed west to Simbambili. Okay, copy that. Yeah, apparently the viewers taller on the camera last night. There were 7 in Gonyam at the dam last night, so it looks like they've all headed out. Alright, so an update. Looks like they've literally the six fight came in overnight, came to fetch their sister or daughter, and have headed straight west into Simbambili. So they're not on Western Gari, unfortunately. Looks like they went on a serious mission last night. Radio is a hive of activity this morning. Johnny coming? Okay. Confirm you've got that Nyamazan. I can drive north up to the Kaplan because Okay, copy that. I'm on Buffalo Subcutler and confirm looks actually might stay. I'm actually heads off into Torchwood, I think there's sometime. I'll make my way there. Hi there, Pam again. Yes, lions are the only sociable cats, true sociable cats in the world. And are we considering Mr. T and Kinky Tail, were they considered rogues? Well, they still stuck around with each other, and they still came from a coalition of 6 males. Now, just because the Mapojos reign over such a large area, they still hang around with each other, so they are still sociable creatures. I wouldn't consider them rogue at all. They were doing what male lions do, and that is roaming and holding just a really large territory, because they were just such massive creatures. Just found a snake skin in the tree. Hold on a second.
Now crossing into Buffalo on Long Pole East. Somebody English crossing to Buffalo. Yeah, also. Coming.
Make sure that the snake is not there.
Issue.
Still soft. Alrighty, look at this beautiful skin. Look at that full length. This is too close, you're right.
That's okay.
There we go, look at that. Look at this. It's a fresh skin. It's very soft still, possibly in the last 12 hours. Trying to figure out what snake it is, and just by looking at the head.
Yeah, I thought fresh comes from Condi.
This looks like a vine snake. It's quite a rare snake. It's a snake that is unusual with its eyesight, is that it sees in color, and it has what we call keyhole pupil. It's not round, or it's not sort of slit-like. It has a round with, it looks exactly like a keyhole, giving it that color vision. Just looking at this beautiful scale count on the head. See if you can get that. You got it.
You're gonna go through that room combat. Yeah, simple. Yeah, she's going down towards Dollar right now.
This is awesome. This is fantastic.
I'm just going to zoom down the body.
Shall I move like this?
No,
Huh?
you've got a picture.
Oh, so let me do this. Can you see the whole thing?
No, I just want to zoom in so we can see what the... We can maybe get a...
I'll put it on the dashboard.
Yeah, that's fine.
Should put it on the dashboard so you can see that properly. It's the full length of the whole dashboard. That's a great find.
Now, aren't vine snakes also known as
Twig snake.
twig snakes?
Yes, yeah. Vine or twig snake. That is correct.
If that is what it is, you could have been right next to it and you wouldn't have even seen it.
No, that's how I really look properly.
Does it look
And
like
this is a large snake. And look at that. That goes from one side of the dash. It's the full width of the car.
Can you move it along so you can see a bit of the tail?
Along the cut line. Maybe if you check through there, where you're gonna join the cut line, you have an idea where he's gone.
Gotta put some sunglasses on. And also, but just by looking at can definitely tell it's not a worm slung or a tree snake, because the worm slung or tree snakes have very defined skin tones, where this has got a lot of chevroning and patterning. It's not a puff adder, because puff adder are ground moving and dwelling snakes. Puff adders don't really climb trees, don't have the ability to climb trees as much. Not a black mamba. Black mamba also have very uniform colors to their bodies, a very grey coloration. So it is a vine snake, or known as a twig snake, as Catherine said. Also has a very unusual colour to its tongue, because most tongues are a dark black grey colour, and the tip of this tongue on this snake is pink. So when he flicks that forked tongue out at you, it's quite an unusual colour.
And not good to get bitten by either.
No, it is a very toxic snake, but as I said, with that camouflage, they generally will use that camouflage to stay well hidden, and things will move past them, and just to be able to stay undetected, they won't move or they won't strike. They will only strike if directly threatened. So even though that snake is in the area, unless I directly threatened it by going to stand on it or grabbing it or bumping it with your head, you always got to be very, very aware. But I know what the snake looks like, and I know the behavior, so it's that's why I looked very hard before I went and took the skin off the tree. Amazing though. Okay. Yep. Hi there, Joy. Is that the Joy from Australia? Joy's asking, is this the time of year that we see snakes? This isn't really the time, Joy. This is our winter, so being a reptile and an ectothermic animal, snakes and other reptiles are generally dormant or go into a torpor, a hibernation state. You do get the odd one now and again moving around. Of course, it's not every single snake that is lying dormant, and depends. This particular snake is quite large, just about as large as what twig snakes will get. And this is probably one of the last times that it will shed what we call sloughing its skin. Okay, So generally within the first year of snakes' lives, they would shed about 6 times, and then the bigger they get, that space between shedding sort of gets further and further apart. So a twig snake this size certainly is probably one of the last times it will shed, and possibly before it gets to the middle of winter, it's shed, it's done its thing. It's going to now go into its find its hole or whatever it is and go and hibernate now for the winter. That is awesome. It could be one other snake with this coloration. I'm just looking at it now. Could be one other, but this other snake doesn't get as big as this. I'll just have to check. It's also called a Mopani snake. Mopani, which is named after a tree out here. We're a little bit too far south for the Mopanis to grow, but so I'll just have a look, and I'll have a look at the scale count. I'm not 100% sure on the scale count of the Mopani snake. So there we go. So it's either a twig snake or a Mopani snake. Nice, very nice. Hi there, Peggy. Peggy's just wondering. Peggy didn't know that Mr. T would be allowed around other lions. Well, Peggy, because the Mapokos had such a large range and territory. Remember, lion males have territories. They do not go beyond their territories, and they will have, and in this case, they have how many different females within their territories occupying that area. So as long as those females are occupying their territory, they would be welcome at any stage. Now they may be greeted after a long time with a bit of a slap and what have you, but it's their territory. The females just occupy the territory. It's the males that protect and guard and mark the territory. So it's only when that male leaves, gets kicked out, because he's too old, or if it's a young male that's looking for a territory, he'll be challenging. But as long as he's in his own territory, he can roam wherever he wants, and whether he hasn't seen and been part of the Styx Pride for such a long time, it's still part of the pride. Maybe Mr. T is the father of some of those things, I don't know.
Hello everybody, this is Hadron on Final Control again. The guy's just going through a bit of a bad signal patch. We'll be cutting back to the Ganda shortly.
Alrighty, see some lion tracks here on Gary Cut Line. Very unusual. What happened here? Maybe some of them split. Alright, so I got a question from Donna asking what will I be doing with the snakes here. Donna, I'm just going to take it back and with my snake book, I just want to count this what we call the scale count on the head, just to get a confirmed identification of what snake it is, and then just have a look at the length and see if it's in accordance with what snake it is, and then I'll put it out into the bush again. So just to get a positive ID. And then David's asking, what's the largest living snake that I've ever seen on safari? I'd have to say I was lucky enough to have found about a 5 meter, what's about a 15-foot African rock python that was swallowing an impala. That's the largest snake I've ever seen. That was on safari. Just got some lion tracks there walking up and down this road on Gari Cutline here. Couldn't call it in. Look at it, some Nkonzo for Madoro Ngonyam and some Mafazis up and down Gari Cutline. Just going to be having a look towards Central Road Junction.
What descendant is that there?
Ngala Nkonzo, it looks like one of them is that Makula Madoro, possibly Mr. T.
Probably I'll check up your own notes from where you're at.
Copy. They're heading back now. Wow, what happened last night? Did they split? Ephraim had tracks going, crossing towards Simbambili in the west. These tracks say that they're going north. Wow. Perhaps they were following the buffalo. What went on here last night? What on earth went on here last night? Just gonna climb off and have a look around and see what happened here. So it looks like some buffalo here. Looks like there's some of these tracks. So it looks like they're sliding and skidding and all over the place. Looks like they were chasing these buffalo. And they headed straight back towards Buffelshoek Cutline and crossing to follow those buffalo. I wonder if it's worth our while just to Hi there, Joshua. Joshua's just asking about two facts about lions, and that is, are all females in a pride related? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Quite often though, they are. They'll be sort of sisters, and then as the prides obviously get larger with youngsters, there'll be aunts, sisters, mothers. So generally they are, but it has been known that other females have been accepted into pride. So it's not the general rule that every pride that you see has got related females, but in most of the cases that we have out here, a lot of the females will be related. And then the males, when they are old enough, probably at about an age of about 4.5, 5 years old, where they are starting to get large enough testosterone levels, they start looking at females, levels of testosterone rise, and they will eventually get kicked out by the dominant male, and they will challenge. They often will become nomadic for, well, it may take a year, it may take shorter than that, it may take longer than that, for them to be able to wander around as coalitions. Could be, depends on how large the previous pride was. Coalitions of males will stick together and may challenge a few other males for their particular territory. So yes, that's how the chain of command and the gene pool changes. You cannot have one set of males for 20 years, well, whatever it is, for 10 years dominating, because that gene pool becomes stagnant. So that chain of command will change as new males leave other prides and get kicked out by those dominant males. They then look to challenge and take over other territories themselves. And then the older males that get kicked out, they then become nomadic. And generally the old males that get kicked out, they pretty much are at the end of their prime, and they then become nomadic for pretty much the rest of their lives. And they just have to stay clear of other prides, males, otherwise a large fight will ensue. Now these lion tracks definitely head towards the rest of where these buffalo go.
Hello everyone, this is Hadron and Final Control again, and we're just going through a bit of a bad signal patch there on a Gari cut line. We'll be back on the Gunda shortly.
Alright, so just got an update that the tracks of lions that we were busy following on Gari cut line, looks like they were the three that were just in Buffelshoek. They obviously had them around last night and had a bit of fun here chasing some buffalo. Looks like there were ample lions around Gari Dam last night. Wow. They're now on the K&P Kruger National Park boundary in Buffelshoek, so not going to be able to see them either. I had a question from Jonathan just now asking, is it possible to see bat-eared fox? Unfortunately not. This type of area, this is not bat-eared fox country. If you go towards more arid or desert-like conditions, that's where you would find them, more arid. So in South Africa, if you want to go and see part of the Kalahari, as well as up in the northwest province, there is a reserve in South Africa, a national reserve called Marakele, and I remember getting to see bat-eared fox quite a bit. But certainly this type of terrain, this is not bat-eared fox country at all. Yeah, it looks like the lions crossed here, came down to the dam, went along Central Road and found some well. Last night and yesterday was a big day on Western Gari and this area. A big day. Just to remind everyone that we are coming to you live. This is Safari TV. My name is Jared, and I'll be presenting, and I have been presenting the morning's drive so far. Catherine on camera and Herman in final control. We have been tracking the movement of lions that were around Gowrie Dam. It looks like the Styx Pride came in. Looks like part of these three. I'm not sure who they are. Could have been in Kahuma Pride. So it looks like there was a lot of stuff happening around last night. And we are at Buffelshoek Dam. Let's see what's happening. Some hippos are in. Yeah, all the hippos are back. Okay. Good morning to you, Tony, as well. Thanks very much. And David's asking, have I ever been lost on safari before? I don't like to use the term lost. I like to call it temporarily disorientated. David. Once, and that was I was new in an area. I was following a leopard one night. It was in the middle of the Kruger Park. I just started working as a ranger, so I was very new to the concept. Following a leopard one night. It was overcast, so I couldn't even use the stars to navigate, and wasn't really paying attention to my surroundings and direction, and the leopard sort of zigzagged all over, went around, and eventually when we lost the leopard, I sort of turned the vehicle in a direction I thought where the road was, and I drove and I drove and I drove and I drove and drove and drove, and I thought, no, hang on a second, we didn't drive this far. And there was only one other vehicle out, and he was on the opposite side of our area, and we were in a very large area, about 10 times the size of Western Gowrie. And I had to sheepishly radio him and ask him to come and drive along the road. I explained to him where I went off the road, and when he came round to my area, he shone the spotlight up into the clouds, and I eventually made my way there. And I didn't hear the end of it for about 6 months that I got lost. So you should.
You try and negotiate that without being.
Hello everybody, this is Hadman on Final Control. We just quickly had a power cut here in Juma. Everything seems to be up and running again, and we'll be cutting back to the game drive vehicle shortly.
Alright, so we just lost power at Final Control back at camp, but we are good to go. and we're gonna head down back away towards that Sambi of Indov, or herd of elephants. They stick around. They are right at the bottom of Western Gari, probably sort of at the junction with Philemon's Cut Line, Zoe's Road, that area. Go and have a look. It's just we haven't seen elephants in quite a long time. Just heard, hoping they stick around for a bit. And we're on Gwari Pan Road at the moment. Tony's just inquiring as to what the difference in air temperature is compared to the water temperature in the dams. Let's see, air temperature at the moment, probably looking at about good 8 degrees Celsius. Yeah, about 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. And the water temperature is probably about 12-15 degrees Celsius. So almost double. Probably double. By no means is the water swimmable temperature wise, just that this air temperature at the moment is quite cold. But now the sun is quite high up in the sky, should start warming up nicely. I am very ready for summer to come back again. It's always the case. I keep on saying, whenever we're in summer, I'm ready for winter. And whenever we're in winter, I'm ready for summer. Now we've only had 2 weeks or so of cold weather, and already I'm ready for a bit of warm weather. My nose has been running for 2 weeks straight. I know that's probably quite gross, but this is the thing with winter. Alright, got a question coming in from Peter asking just to discuss something about the trees that we get in this area. Peter, Sabi Sands is quite varied with its species. I'd probably say just within the Sabi Sands well, there's at least a couple hundred species of tree. And you look at just within our area here, we would classify with the types of soils that we get. Of course, with the undulation and the hills that we get, there are certain areas that are more sandy soils, there are areas that are lion tracks, more clay soils, and you're going to find different trees and different soils. So up here where we are, where the soils are more clay, you're going to find a lot of the terminalia, or these silver cluster leaves. These trees I like to call these smelly feet trees. I'll show you one of these trees. We'll just stop and have a quick glimpse here as well. Also there's a bit of sunlight Cat can show you, and we can also, I'll show you why it's called a silver cluster leaf. Because this particular tree has got some very fine silver hairs, and when the sunshine hits them you get this very silvery sheen on them, and they are clustered at the end of the branches, so it's called a silver cluster leaf. And this is an indicative species of more clay soils, and also signs of a seep line. Seep line is where the parent rock is quite shallow, and as moisture or water that is underground sort of seeps down, hits this parent rock and can't go down anymore, so it spreads out sideways. And often with this undulating surface you often get this wet sort of line where water looks like it's coming out of nowhere, and it's coming out the side of a mountain. And this is pretty much a species that will occur within these areas. So silver cluster leaf. While we're there, just behind it, you'll see there's a tree with a lot of yellow leaves at the moment, and this is probably, I'd say, if you had to give 2 or 3 species that in our area are the most prominent, it's this tree behind it. It's a bush willow, and this is a large fruited bush willow. But the bush willow species, we've got about 3 or 4 different bush willow species in the area, and they are prominent. Get the large fruited bush willow, we get the russet bush willow, we get the leadwood, which is also a combretum species, part of the bush willow family. You get the red bush willow. So this part of the Sabi Sands, and the Sabi Sands very, very prominent with bush willows. And while we're here, Kath can also shine on your spotlight. Can also focus on another tree shrub here right next to the vehicle. This is probably one of the hardest woods that we get. It's called a Dalbergia, or a zebra wood. This tree, and so a lot of guides and rangers, we call it Land Rover Papvelia. Land Rover Papvelia, because it's got huge spines. I'll just quickly climb off and show you.
I've got a spine in frame.
So when you've got it.
Got it. Okay.
Those spines that I just showed you there, those spines, you'll notice they're very, very different. They're very different to what we call thorns. A thorn, now known as a prickle, that you get on acacias, for instance, are very soft, and it is a modified leaf. Where this zebra wood, that has a spine, is a modified branch, and it's a lot harder. So if you drive over a small bush of zebra wood with your tire, it's pretty much going to go straight through the rubber of your tire, no matter how thick your tires are. That and the sickle bush. also has spines, also known as the Land Rover Popvelia, because it pops your wheels. So we get a lot of the Dalbergias here. Dalbergia melanoxylon, or zebrawood, get a lot of that. Get a lot of silver cluster leaf. You get a lot of combretums at the moment. All the trees that you see that are turning this yellow are the combretums. And then as soon as I find a decent acacia, acacia is the other prominent. Combretum, acacia, and then marula, the marula trees. These are the three main species that we get out here. Hi there, Doug. And Doug remembered part of, we saw some steenbok the other day, saying when when there are predators around, it lies motionless, but doesn't it give off a scent? Doug, yes, it does have scent, but for an animal of that size, its scent is not going to be nearly as much as something the size of an impala. Obviously, the bigger the body, the more scent it gives off. So certainly, an animal that size also, when it lies down flat in the grass, that scent is not able to spread as well or as much around as a larger animal, that the scent can spread out above the grasses. So hide in the grass, put your head down, ears flat. That scent is in its immediate vicinity, yes, but it doesn't have an opportunity to spread as much as a larger species would. So you're right, and a very good question and observation there. Very good. Alright, here's a couple of marulas. This is the other prominent species that we get in the area. Get a nice picture of it. This marula still has all its leaves. Marulas will be losing all their leaves. And of course the marula during the summer months, very famous for its marula fruit. And out here in South Africa we get a liqueur, an alcohol that is favored by South Africans called amarula or amarula. It's a liqueur based on the fruit and brandy based as well. Very, very much favored by South Africans. Very similar to Bailey's, made in the UK. But this is the marula. A lot of the larger trees in the area are marula. You get the odd acacia that's quite large, and a few jackalberries that get to the same sort of size, but the one that stands out is pretty much the marula like this. Very distinctive bark with its grey patchiness. It's often is a tree that is ring-barked for the nutrients in the cambium or on that inner bark of the tree. So I'll show you, I'll pull up to the tree and I'll show you what I mean by the cambium. Back. I'm going to go right up to the tree and then I'll show you what I mean by ring barking and what the elephants go for. There's a marula closer to the... See, there's 1, 2, I can look, just looking down Cheetah Cutline, and I can see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trees. I want one close to the road, that if I talk at the tree, that you're still going to be able to hear me. And one on the right hand side. There we go, another marula. You can always tell whether these trees are males or females. So often what will happen is for nutrients elephants will take their tusks and push it along the sides of trees, and it'll sort of split the tree. They'll take their trunks and pull off the bark, getting to the underneath, what we call the inner bark. So I've got to find a nice shallow area. Got to take the outer bark off. This just looks like a leopard's claw mark when climbing. Often you'll see marula trees because they're decent sized trees. Leopards favour marulas to climbing up and hoisting kills, and because it's soft enough, a lot of the combretums are very, very hard and not as easy to climb as what a tree like this, a softer tree. And I'll show you this red colour combretum. There we go. You can focus inside the hole. Can you see inside the hole there? Can you see that? There we go. So you'll see the red on the inside. That's what we call the cambium. And the cambium is an area in which the tree's nutrients travel, what we call the xylem and the phloem, the waters and the sugars that come up from the roots to feed the leaves. And this is that red color that elephants will completely strip a tree to get those nutrients. Very, very bitter, but if you are lacking in nutrients and you're stuck in the bush, peel back the bark and chew it. Don't swallow it, just chew it and spit out the pulp. Very good for you.
I also heard that if you have pieces, because you can obviously see like that the bark can sometimes flake off in those little pieces. If you manage to get a piece of the bark off and you have a wound, like a big scratch or sort of a little bit of an open wound, that you can put a piece of marula bark on it.
Yeah, I think that's got to do with a lot of the beliefs within an area. The Shangaan people believe that a concoction of the roots and the bark can determine the sex of a baby, if it's a male or a female tree. That you're thinking of might be a belief of a Zulu tribe. So many different tribes have different beliefs for different trees and things like that they have believed, and stories have been told over many, many years. So there are many different things and ways in which these trees can be used. You can chew the leaf of the marula as well to be able to, if you have a sore throat, chew the leaf of the marula. Also hiccups. It cures the bad case of hiccups. So yeah, many different beliefs for different trees. Yeah. I do apologize for the look of the hair now. Do you have the question? Hi there, Tony. Tony's asking quite a bit of me now. Asking a few things. What is the parent rock in this area? Is it sedimentary or igneous? There are different in different areas. I'll show you. We're going to go past an area where there is a patch of sedimentary sandstone, but I'd say prominent percentage-wise, I'd say it is igneous. We have a lot of granite under here. If you travel just on the western side of the Sabi Sands and a little bit further south, you have these huge, massive granite outcrops that are believed to be the oldest rocks in the world. Hello, Mr.